the Asia Pacific Business Forum podcast, exploring business, policy, and personalities across the region.
Hello, I'm Dick Drobnik, and I'm the host of the Asia Pacific Business Forum podcast conversation with Dr. Qiwei Chen. Dr. Chen is the founder of the first private equity firm in China, Asia Business Consulting, over 30 years ago. He's been a senior advisor to China's National Economic Reform Commissions and multiple provincial governments. He's been an independent director of 10 listed companies, established 20 private equity firms, and he's been a professor at Shanghai Jiao Tong University and at East China Normal University, and has been a speaker for the University of Southern California at many programs that I've developed in Los Angeles, many times in Bangkok, Kyoto, and Rangoon. Dr. Chen established the Academy of Asia Plus Business for leading Chinese private sector entrepreneurs. Qiwei, welcome to this podcast conversation.
Thank you. So glad to see you, Dick. So I'm very much honored to discuss with you on today's big event.
So could you talk a little bit about how your AA plus B entrepreneur students are thinking about and learning about ways to react to America's new trade policies? Even though the trade policies keep changing almost every day, still, what are some of the thoughts of your students, and how are they going to learn about new ways to continue to be healthy companies?
Yes, it's a great issue. The AA plus B, founded by me, also strongly supported by my good friend Dick Drobnik. And our purpose is very simple: so faster and effectively reacting to the changes happens in the real world. But this year, 2025, is such a very unusual year for not only all the people but to business people. Needless to say, to our students, they are all the young generation of entrepreneurs, startups. Their business is in growing, but it's very heavily hit by this such a big change. Big wave of the tariffs war. The more than that is the trend behind the tariff wars is the huge market opportunity changes, because the United States market over past 3 decades is the most important market for China's business entrepreneurs. And also encourage China business have produced a huge amount of low-cost, good quality products for American consumers. So we mutually benefited from the collaboration between US and China. However, on the other hand, we all also realize that the trade deficit is growing, huge. This is, but from a point of our view, this is an issue. It's very complicated. It's a long-term one. So there should be a serious, professional negotiation or discussion to correct that. My students, most of them agree. They like to have better collaboration with the American business world to correct the income and trade result between the entrepreneurs of the businessmen of 2 countries, to produce more health growth in the future. But this businessmen, they are mainly in the micro level, the pragmatic level. They looking forward to the wisdom of those policymakers, those experts to solve the problem. However, starting from this year, while your new president come in, the change happens so rapidly. So from our students' world is so simple and rude, so fast. In terms of like a human being, if someone in his body got some problem, we found out that there are some problem, but the doctor, they wouldn't do something very dramatically simple and rude to correct the situation.
Qiwei, can you just briefly describe your students? These are people that are 35 to 50 years old, running companies that are $10 million to $100 million of sales. Give us some idea. These are not undergraduate students.
No, they are rather sophisticated. Our idea is because China's economy has grown up from over past 3 decades. The business, most of the business started from by the parents' generation. They are the first generation of China's private business. Those persons, most of them are my girlfriend. I have witnessed. I'm ABC as a venture capitalist. We have invested more than 200 companies. More than that, I have exposed to the almost all successful China private businessmen. So they have very successfully built up their business, but come to the time, the second generation, their sons, their daughters, the new generation enter into the business world. Those second generation are my students, all AA plus B, mainly from there. Their features is they have complete, their difference between them and their parents is they have completed the whole education. Not like their parents. Most of their parents have not completed the whole education, especially the college and graduate school. But the second generation, they most of them or all of them have completed their whole education. Most of them earned their degree from United States, UK, Germany, or Japan. So it's very much different. They know better to the whole world, opening up and more future exposed and also knowledgeable. So those are my AA plus B students group.
So if the belief now among your students and entrepreneurs is that America wants a long-term decoupling, then a long-term strategy is to become less reliant on the American market and become more connected to, I don't know, the Korean market, the Japanese market, European market. Is that the thinking that's going on?
Yes, it is a new phenomena, but also it's a kind of a trend. It started from years ago. So for business people, they are very pragmatical. They have more or less have prepared for this kind of change. AA plus B has just also finished a Japanese tour 2 weeks ago. In Japan, we have meet 2 congressmen, 2 professors from Tokyo University, and the governor from another top Tokyo Japanese universities. And we also visited 3 financial institutes to discuss with their experts about the possible market trend, collaboration between China and Japan. I would honestly say, because Japan, in terms of its ideologies, Japan is the allies of United States, not China. So those Japanese experts also very frankly say the tariff wars going on, decoupling going on. Generally, Japan will on side of America instead of China. So our students also realize that real trend, real picture. There will be no friendly environment from our neighborhoods, not only Japan, but also Korea, even ASEAN countries, needless to say the European. So China is going to have a more difficult time. But however, in Japan, we have got some positive information. The Japanese senior level experts told us the Japanese companies existed, set up in China, still have more than 36,000 companies. 36,000 companies in China. So the largest numbers among the other Western countries in China. The US companies are only maybe a few thousand, but the Japanese is 36,000. The peak time is about 50,000. So, however, on the other hand, the feeling, the comment between two countries' people are very negative. The Japanese dislike China, Chinese dislike Japan. But the numbers of Japanese companies in China, which means the trade and the economy between China and Japan, have a lot of room to, the market opportunities, profit opportunities. So we also discussed with Japanese expert. We are going to launch some joint program to bring the new generation Japanese entrepreneurs and Chinese entrepreneurs together to pragmatically study or search the collaboration opportunities. So I believe it's for China, it's also a very big challenge. This time, the change of the whole world market picture.
You probably know about 3 or 4 weeks ago, the Chinese foreign minister, the Japanese foreign minister, and the Korean foreign minister met in Tokyo for their 11th annual meeting. And a Chinese person, Henry Hua Wang, the president of China's Center for China and Globalization, wrote a piece in the South China Morning Post talking about, given America's desire to decouple from China, and perhaps desire to make the Koreans pay $10 billion to keep U.S. forces in Korea, which the Koreans will not do, that Japan, Korea, and China should cooperate more in the future, even though there is a bad history. And he closes his South China Morning Post article with this quote: "The trilateral partnership of China, Japan, and South Korea is Asia's future backbone. In a fractured world, a broken world, it's our lifeline. Trade, supply chains, and cultural bonds trump differences, overcome differences. The consensus points reached in the Tokyo meetings prove pragmatism works. Let's harness our strengths and shape an Asian economy now."
I know this guy.
Sure, I know you do.
Yes, he's a very official point of view, represent China's official side. It's a very good wishes. It's good wishes in such a special moment. However, I for the pragmatic reason, I don't think that there will be come out such kind of tri-side collaborations. Yeah. The interest between Japan, Korea, and China has accumulated over the past years, partly caused by the Japanese Korea side, and also partly caused by our country become stronger and stronger over past 10 years to the neighborhoods, to the whole world. because China will think we are not a weak country as before. We are also superpower in the world in terms of economy. So you guys all should respect me better. So this kind of things, I mean, it's a Chinese official the standard, and also expressed by China officials repeatedly over past 10 years. But it did not cause the trust between China and our neighbors. It's not improve the trust and the friendship with our neighbors. So this is also why this time your president has launched such a rude and simple tariff wars, mostly aimed at China. Here in my country, not only from my students, also from my friends, from the information I have got from the media, the Chinese people feel very angry. So you American guys really like to burning to China. But this also means there will be, I don't think there will be a real ally or something like that, a sub-ally between Japan, Korea, and China in the future. Japan, Korea still will stand firmly with the United States of America, even you have a bad president.
The thing about this president, he's being rude to everyone. So there's pushback from a lot of countries. Now, Vietnam has said, Vietnam has surrendered, okay? Zero tariff on American products,
yes,
so on and so forth. But some of the bigger countries, I mean, the European Union and Canada, just because they're angry. Even though they can get hurt, they're angry. So, of course, there won't be a Japan, Korea, China alliance. But if America continues its bullying under Trump or under a continuation of Trump, people will have to find different markets. And people won't trust. Even if Trump says the tariffs will go away, they won't trust him.
No.
Or if the next president says, okay, those tariffs are a mistake, we're going to take them away. People will lose their trust, and business people make long-term investments. So it's hard to do that with you don't trust your partner. Now, China said we're going to restrict rare earth exports. And that's a good bargaining tool.
But technically, we believe the tariff measures as a whole package launched by President Trump, with a clear purpose, but too rude and simple approaches. The contradictions exist between his purpose and his approaches. So, which do not mean he has a wrong purpose, but our students, as a businessman with pragmatical thinking, and they don't. Most of them do not think the problems come out from that single person, which means Mr. Trump. It's not his personal fault or his personal wrong. I know American, it's a country I have familiar contact with over past 4 decades. Never expect one word we say in China side. On China, it's a very important issue. I share with you. One of my friends, a very senior level, and he said, Mr. Trump, President Trump, it's obviously the worst president American president to China and the Chinese people over the past 4 decades, since Nixon, even if not 5 decades, since President Nixon started, the toll to China, every president, so Trump would be the worst one treat to us. However, maybe in the coming 4 decades, this guy may be the best president to China.
Yeah, I think the relationship will be difficult in the years ahead. So let me just ask you one question. Okay. So China is the holder of more U.S. treasuries than any other country. Mm-hmm. Do you think that the Chinese government will say, to counteract some of the Trump pressure, perhaps we should be selling some of these treasuries or not buying anymore, causing disruption in the U.S. financial markets?
It's also a very professional issue. My view is, a lot of noises or voices here say, why should we hold the American treasuries? And because given the hostile situation between two countries, the whole world getting not better, but the other part of the world, for business reason, we have not find a place is trustable. Okay. So I don't believe I personally don't believe there will be a large wave of selling American treasury bond from by China government. This is for very pragmatic reason.
All right, young man.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing.
You too. Okay.
Thank you, Qiwei. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Hosted by Dick Drobnik, the Asia Pacific Business Forum podcast is produced by Dan Griffin of GG Film.